Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Dark Roast. I am Donna Stroll, and I'm here with the always lovely and talented Rose Short. Yeah, and today's topic is all about the holidays, and not just Black Friday or Christmas, but all year long, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what today is going to be about. But first, I need a sip of coffee.
Yes, and if you're like me and Donna, honestly, I love Halloween and are annoyed that we're already talking about holidays past Halloween. I get it. But when you're in marketing, you've got to be thinking ahead. It's just how it is, right? That's why you see swimsuits coming out in, like the spring where it's still too cold to wear them, but they're thinking ahead, and you start seeing winter gear in the middle of summer. It's the same kind of thing. They're thinking ahead, looking at the next season. As a marketer, you got to think ahead, look at those holidays, look at those sales, and figure out what are your affiliate programs do those kind of sales.
Yeah, and when you're thinking holidays, when you're doing holiday programming, whether, no matter what it is, whether it's your sales or whatever, you need to be usually at least 6 to 8 weeks ahead, which means that you've got to be at least a month and a half to 2 months ahead. Better to be 2 months ahead. You're starting to plan so that you can roll it out a month ahead, especially for things like affiliate marketing. I mean, if you're doing product marketing, if your affiliation is with products, you might want to start a little bit sooner, but it's the way you have to do it. I mean, in 2024, there were $10.8 billion in US online sales for Black Friday alone. And that was up 10% from 2023. Like, that's insane, right? So
Is
why not capitalize on some of that for yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're one of those people who's like, well, they do Cyber Monday. Why are they doing online Black Friday sales as well? There you go. That's why.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So, why do the seasons and whatnot matter? Why does seasonal and holiday campaigns matter? Why do people get so like, oh, it's Christmas season? Well, most people don't plan ahead. So there's a scarcity and urgency, right? There's buyer motivation because it's, Christmas is in 3 weeks, get it now on sale, that kind of thing. And for a lot of people who are doing last minute shopping, they're also going to be looking at those last minute sales, right? There's an emotional connection as well. Holidays for a lot of people, there's nostalgia. There's the whole, oh, the family gets together and it's wonderful. Or it's, I avoid my family and I get together with friends that I've chosen to be my family and it's wonderful because let's face it, sometimes that's what happens.
Yep.
But there's also the FOMO effect, right? Like you want to be giving and whatnot. You don't want to miss out on any of the holiday stuff. And so that emotional connection partnered with that scarcity is a buyer motivation win.
Yeah. Even non-product affiliates can leverage, like I said, the seasonal psychology. It's about timing and content and context. It's not just about tinsel, or it's not just about flags. It's not just about hearts. It's about the timing. So everybody else has got sales, so you'll see that a lot with software. Or software as a service. They will capitalize on seasonal sales, even though what they're selling has nothing really to do with the season specifically. It's just an opportunity to capitalize on those holidays.
Yeah.
So, um, for like the Q4, which is what we're heading into now, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, New Year's, is the biggest example, but it's works for back to school, summer, spring, Valentine's, all that kind of stuff as well. Like even spring cleaning, right? You
Hmm.
can use that as a holiday or a seasonal type sale, because we're saying holiday, but really it's seasonal, right? Because each season has their own sort of section of things that you do.
Yeah. Especially if you're a creator too, like you can think outside of the realms of like the main ones, right? You've got Oktoberfest. Depending on where you are, you've got Guy Fawkes Day, right? You've got I don't know, Canada's Thanksgiving I know is different from the when America's
Canada's
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving is on
is.
Monday.
Right?
Yeah.
But so if you're not living in the US, you can still capitalize on the holiday seasons or the special days in your world to make those digital products and sell those digital products as well. So don't think it's just limited to the main ones. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, if you are from India or East Indian, then you might use Diwali.
Mhm.
Halloween might not be your thing, but Diwali is a huge festival, right? So maybe that's
Yeah.
where you put your campaign, you tailor your campaign to. It really is about, this ties back somewhat to last week's conversation in terms of targeting your cultural base. That's another way to build your holiday season stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
like I said,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to talk about planning.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I said earlier, you should be starting at least 6 to 8 weeks beforehand, which obviously means now, right? You might miss out on some of the Halloween stuff if you're like just kicking in now, but you can start working on things like your Black Friday, your Thanksgiving if you're in the US, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and all of that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, and even if you're doing content, right, your content calendar should include the key dates, when you should roll out content around certain themes, different affiliate assets that are coming out, stuff like that. You should have that somewhere easy to find. I know for me, when the holidays come around, I get really excited for the Grinch filters that I know are coming and some of the Halloween filters because I like my content and I like my over the top filters. Um, but then, for product affiliates, again, research trending ideas, so if you're an Amazon affiliate or if you have an Etsy shop or Shopify, look at what's trending in gifts. I know when I worked at Amazon, every freaking Christmas, we moved hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of air fryers or Instapots. Sorry, Instapots. It was the Instapot. Which is why I will never own one because I moved too many of them. But that was something that every year I think trends even now. So research those trending ideas, those bestsellers, and especially limited edition drops. Right? Stanley Cups I know has gotten pretty on board with this, where they're doing limited edition Halloween cups now. And some of them actually look really cool. And I'm not a huge Stanley Cup fan. Uh, BarkBox is doing it. They have a limited edition Halloween one that's Scooby Doo themed. So there's lots of different ways that you can utilize what they're already doing to increase your marketing for that. And then, you could have the keywords such as gift guide or seasonal must have or, top gift idea, stuff like that, so that the SEO is friendly and people get to your content faster.
and that's a great way to also utilize that evergreen content as well, like your blogs or your YouTube, where you're going to do gift guides or seasonal must-haves or trending topic or trending things of the year or whatever, that's going to help you sort of build that up. And then that can be, that's one piece of content that's now relevant for at least a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
There are some notable increases in certain categories, especially during Black Friday versus your normal daily sales. Toy sales go up like 622%, jewelry 560%, home goods, so like you were saying, the Instapot, another like almost 600%, apparel again 770% compared to average October daily sales. Like, that's huge, right? So especially if you're into product affiliate marketing, this is an opportunity where, especially if you are an Amazon affiliate, this really works well for you because you can have a lot of different things. You don't have to be very specific, and these things are going to really definitely. Or say you're an influencer who deals with kitchen stuff, home goods. That's
Yeah.
580% jump. So it behooves you to get on it and start planning and utilizing that opportunity to just boost your sales like crazy.
Yeah, and even if you're in like health and wellness and whatnot, that's a good chance to, jump on like blenders. I mean, what fitness person doesn't use a blender to make smoothies or, stuff like that. So even if you're like, oh, well, home goods, but I'm not in that niche, it might fit into your niche. So, don't
Yeah,
discount it.
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, going back to health and wellness, what time of year is the best time of year for them? New Year's,
Hmm.
right? So you capitalize on it New Year's and probably a little bit before summer,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Maybe not during Christmas and Thanksgiving stretch because people are busy stuffing their faces.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for the cold plunge industry, it's kind of a slowdown in like September, October, and then it's usually picking back up in November because yeah, we're getting into that holiday season. People have done their holiday gift. They're looking for to the next year. And they're like, you know what? I put this off last year. I really want to get myself an ice bath, and then it kind of trends back up there.
Yeah. And if you're using software as a service or you're selling digital products or coaching, you're a coaching affiliate, you can create a themed hook. So like spring clean your business systems or new year, new income stream, that kind of stuff.
That's cute.
Um, yeah, you can bundle or reframe your existing offers into seasonal challenges, bonuses, or maybe some limited coaching spots. These are all opportunities. You want to use a content calendar because it's going to be your best friend, um, so that you actually know what's going on. Because otherwise, the holiday seasons are busy. They're busy for everybody. And so you as an entrepreneur are going to be doubly busy because you've got to deal with your family and all the holiday stuff that's going on, but you also have to deal with the planning of your content and your all that other stuff and your work. So having that calendar will help ease some of that stress for yourself. So you're not like, oh shit, what was I supposed to do today?
Exactly. And it'll hold you accountable as well, right? If it's somewhere invisible, you look at it and you're like, I didn't cross that video off yesterday. I really need to make that video. It's going to prompt you to just do it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Q4 matters for software and digital goods by quite a bit, according to the stats. So in 2023, SaaS and software holiday spend report, sorry, noted that Q4 is often the strongest quarter for digital goods because many
So
buyers buy what?
I was just going to say that's now.
Yeah, that's now. Because buyers buy for the first time, or they get their upgrades, or they invest just before the year ends. Um, Especially if you have an LLC, right? Because that's all going to count toward tax purposes and whatnot. It could save you some money on taxes. So, or people who have been using a software all year go, you know what? It's actually probably worth the upgrade. Let me go ahead and upgrade now while it's on the seasonal sale. So even if you're not selling a gift or anything like that per se, if you're an affiliate for like, what's a good one? HeyGen is one that I use. I don't even know if they have an affiliate program, honestly, but they typically do discounts and whatnot. And then so around this time of year, it'd be a good time for me to be like, hey, HeyGen's great if you're looking to do AI videos. You can jump in now for this percentage off, whatever. Um,
Yeah,
so it's a really good
absolutely.
way to do it, And then if you're doing AI too, you can put together like 10, key AI prompts or things that you use with that, and you can give that away for free as well as an incentive.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, seasonal fluctuations, especially in software as a service, it's not flat, right? Like they actually have ebb and flow over months as well. So January, like you were saying, sees like a 12 to 18% jump in conversions, because people are planning. So like maybe they're hosting or they're upgrading their like Opus clips or Go High Level or something like that, where they're going to upgrade. This is where they're going to do it. December tends to drop. So, because people are busy, they're doing stuff, right? So they have an ebb and flow based on the seasons, just like your products do, right? So it's important to utilize those seasonal tier emphasis, like HubSpot implemented a dynamic approach where they adjust the emphasis on different parts of what their different plans seasonally, but they don't actually drop their prices. They just emphasize different tiers at different seasons, and they got a 23% lift in conversion without ever actually um, changing their
Calculate
pricing.
discount. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
so you don't always have to drop your prices during a holiday season. Maybe you just highlight something that's being underutilized or is better utilized during that time of year.
Love it. So how do you execute this, right, for the maximum impact? Well, you want to build momentum, right? So you want to build that tension, those little hooks, the little, sneak peeks type stuff. Then you want to do your soft sell, right? You're kind of talking about the sale and whatnot, but not actually being pushy or, doing the call to action too heavy. And then you want to do your hard sale, a hard sell toward the end of that momentum, right? So at the start of it, you're kind of just building up, making the cutesy content. The middle of it, you're making the more serious content. At the end, it's like, hey, you need to buy this, and this is why.
Yeah, that's where you really start to appeal to the FOMO, right?
Yeah,
Time's running
exactly.
out.
Yep.
You only got 24 hours left.
Yep. And then layer that promote your promotions, right? So emails with countdowns, gift guides, urgency timers, those kind of things. On your social, again, sneak peeks are great. Tips and tricks, obviously, are great reels to make. And then, of course, reels with the trending sounds or the holiday visuals. Because, yes, I will be making my Grinch videos this year, because I always do. And then on your website or blog, again, themed roundups, resource lists, gift guides, all that kind of stuff.
And you don't have to start brand new all the time. You can repurpose old campaigns. Just update the visuals or the copy, anything that's actually changed, because no one's going to remember what you did in 2022 or 2023, right? They probably won't even remember what you did last year. But, if you have stuff that's around already, go and utilize that. Just give it a refresh, right? And then highlight your bonus stacking. So exclusive bonuses, early bird access, or holiday only type content to boost that perceived value, right? Because it's all about making sure that your customer feels like they're getting such a deal, right? And you're not lying to them if you are actually giving them some things that are actually beneficial to them and that are valuable for them.
Yeah.
And there are
But,
some things you want. Oh.
yep, I was going to say, but you don't want to oversaturate.
Exactly. There are some things you want to try and avoid, and like you were saying, don't oversaturate, right?
Yeah.
You want to plan intentional promos, not daily chaos. So, that can be challenging, right? Because we are really taught very quite often to just throw everything at the wall. You got to post 15 times a day and all that shit. And you really don't. So,
Yeah. And of course, keep it authentic, right? If you're not the sham wow guy, don't try to be the sham wow guy. If your audience knows that you hate pumpkin spice because you talk about like how stupid the pumpkin spice scene is during the summer, and then suddenly you're at Starbucks drinking a pumpkin spice latte, eating a pumpkin spice muffin, they're probably going to be a little bit confused or know you're a liar. So, keep it real. And then track and test as always. Use the seasonal data to gather data for next season, or to even look at micro changes during this season, what helped, and then track that for next year so you can start a little bit on the upswing instead of starting from scratch. And you should have a postseason plan, right? Like, the email shouldn't stop after Christmas. You should still email your list, follow up, repurpose, pivot into the next cycle, or the next offer, whatever it is. But don't build up all this momentum for the holiday, and then at New Year be like, "Cool, I'm done until next year." Like,
yeah. Bye. Peace out. And
it's easy to want to do.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we do get exhausted, right? We do. There's so much going on. You probably do want to just peace out and say whatever. There's a way you can do that without being over like too much, and that is to literally say to people, I am now on my holiday break, especially if you are a solopreneur and maybe you're doing, especially if you're saying make money online, right? Where you're selling education or you're selling digital products to help people in their business, that kind of thing. You can say, I am taking a week off, right? And then maybe you have some scheduled content that's just generic that you have that you just pop that in and it's not a big rush. Your emails, when you're planning your sequences, plan that cool down section, that post time as well, right? So that when you're doing it, you didn't plan just up to the holiday day. You actually plan for the 2 weeks after so that you have that cool down period and you can take that much needed rest that you require.
Yeah. And if you've done proper planning, that's already scheduled out. And, again, with content scheduling and whatnot, you can easily schedule out the whole month of December and not be that active on social media if you don't want to be, because your schedule is going to do it. Then you should still log in, respond to comments, respond to messages, stuff like that. But there are a lot of ways with all of the software and everything now to, make the holiday season a lot less stressful, because you're not trying to create a bunch of reels real fast 2 days before Christmas.
What? Who does that?
Right?
I
Never.
don't know what you're talking about. I'm enjoying my Opus clip for the most part. It's allowing me to schedule quite a ways out, just breaking this up into small videos. I mean, I should be making other videos as well, but hey, one step at a time.
Hmm.
But and it's actually helped a lot in getting our information out there and reaching a lot more people, which I really appreciate. So that's pretty cool. Um, so, bottom line is seasonal campaigns aren't just for retail, right? They do work for affiliates of all different types, whether you are strictly, coaching or education, whether you're software as a service, whether you are a product affiliate, and you're selling different stuff like that. Seasonal campaigns work for you as well, as long as you put in the work to make it happen. Now, like we're in the Q4, so that is, you are going to be running, but you do have time, especially for Black Friday and, Christmas and New Year's. And then you could get the jump on Valentine's or St. Patrick's Day, Memorial Day. Like you can really start pushing now and getting comfortable with that concept, so that when next year rolls around, you already have content and an understanding of what worked and what didn't, and you're not having to start fresh every single time. And I know that for like Etsy, and I'm sure that Shopify also has this, and probably Amazon as well. There's a lot of support from them, uh, from those specifically, but also on YouTube from people who are, top sellers in those areas, to help you get through that. If you're struggling with like, well, what do I do, or how do I find it, or those kinds of things, there is a lot of information out there that you don't have to pay for, but that you can gather to help you sort of plan that out for yourself.
Love
So,
it.
you know, start small, be consistent. As we say, consistency counts, right? You're better to go all in on one than do a bunch of half-assed ones, right? So if Halloween is just too close for you and you're like, "Narp, not doing that," then go for Christmas. Pick Christmas as it. You've got a couple months, a month and a half, or whatever. 2 months now, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got the full 8 weeks. So start doing it now. Plan for that one, and really figure out how the wheels are working for you.
Yeah. Or if Christmas is really not your thing either, just, what is your favorite holiday? Just think about that. What is your favorite holiday? What is the holiday that gets you the most excited? And then start backwards planning from there, right? Because maybe
Yep.
it's Easter. I don't know. Maybe Easter's your jam. Cool. Start thinking about Easter. Think about what you love about Easter. Think about the products that go with that. Work backwards, and then you can put all your focus into one that you really really like, and then you get the experience of a holiday that you actually enjoy, and then maybe you can apply it next year to Halloween or Christmas or something like that.
And this applies for all our esoteric and witchy people as well. There's plenty of holidays there. If you're a tarot reader, or you create tarot cards or other kinds of, rituals or something like that that you sell, again, there are plenty of holidays and big events that happen within those calendars that you can do. So pick your calendar, obviously, because not every calendar is going to be the basic standard one, right? And then go from there and build out. Like you say, pick your holiday that you like, and start there. So next week.
Next week we are going to step out of the holiday rush. Talk about how e-commerce and affiliate marketing are merging in really fun and powerful new ways.
Yep. And so, yeah, so that's building a sustainable space for you in the future, which is pretty cool, right? Because you
Yes,
can't.
we love it.
And that was it. And that was all for today. It's going to be an interesting time, I think, with that one. It'll be interesting on seeing how the two things come together to really help you build something sustainable, because we're all about trying to build sustainability, not having you crap out in 3 months and say this was way too hard.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, that's it. And that's all for us today. Bye.
If you found this helpful, please drop a comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Your feedback is super helpful in growing this channel.
And of course, if you have any questions or if there's any specific thing that you would like us to talk about, drop that in the comments too. Happy Friday!
Happy Friday, everyone.